Welcome back to IGN Live at San Diego Comic-Con. We're talking about all sorts of stuff. We were just talking a little bit about World's End. That movie looks very funny.
It is. I've seen it. It's
You already saw it?
Yes,
And
I've
you see
already
everything.
seen it. Yes, I get. By the time a movie comes out, I feel like it's already been out for 3 weeks because it's one of the little perks of our job is that we do get to go to early press screenings or, in the case of television, a lot of events. This guy here, Goldman, goes to a lot more cool stuff than even I get to go to, and they all know him. Like it's different on the TV side. Like you guys all kind of know each other.
No.
Yeah. What I'm saying is,
there's no bigger name in TV than Jared Coleman.
That's right. But World's End it's very funny. If you like Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz, which they also made, or even they basically there's this whole kind of a storyline of just these old friends getting back together and sort of the one Simon Pegg character who's just like still stuck living the past, acting like he's 20 years old.
Right.
And basically. Then all this crazy genre movie kind of left turn stuff happens.
That's what's
but
always
you're
awesome
already
about that,
invested
right?
in that story.
Even with Shaun of the Dead, right? It started off as it was this romantic comedy, this romantic comedy that then had zombies. I think that's how I pitched it.
It's a lot of fun, and of course when they break into like wacky fights and stuff like that, it's like, where did these guys who work in offices like learn to do this? You don't need to know. It just suddenly they turn into like basically like kung fu stuff.
Excellent.
Pretty awesome.
That's what I want. Look at here. There they are.
There they are, the boys.
Looking badass.
Man, Simon Pegg's the best.
Yeah. I believe Simon Pegg and Nick Frost and Edgar Wright, the director, will be at our party. Now, Edgar Wright, as you guys might know, is also directing Ant-Man for Marvel.
Yeah.
And they have not cast Ant-Man yet that we know of, but
you want to put your
everyone thinks
name out there?
maybe it'll be one of we're going to try and get some answers from Edgar. But the Marvel panel is the last
feed him
movie
shots
panel
tonight.
of Saturday. Yes. So who knows? And our very own Chris Tilley, who is from IGN UK.
Oh, it's me, Christian.
Yes, he knows a lot of these guys, so it's up to you,
It's like
Tilly.
he was sitting right there.
I know.
It's crazy.
We're so racist.
It's funny because it's a stereotype.
Not racist.
What do you call
Not
it?
what racism
Culturist? That is, there's no... The level of racism I'm on, Daemon, you haven't even been named yet.
Now, what about Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Yes.
Didn't they just put out a teaser that showed a little bit of Electro?
Yes, our first kind of look in sound, really, of Jamie Foxx as Electro. We have seen some official photos of him in the last week or so. I think the look is really cool. Like, he's got this kind of bluish look with the electricity basically literally running through his skin, and his voice even sounds kind of automated, kind of electric. And it looks really cool. They put out that teaser yesterday virally, and that's going to be here at Comic-Con along with Andrew Garfield. Jamie Foxx will be there. And then, so Marvel has a huge presence. People who are hoping for a DC movie announcement, I really think the best maybe will be Man of Steel 2, but frankly, I don't think they don't have their kind of act together.
No, they do not at all. That's the
but
whole
so
thing.
basically, Marvel movie stuff like probably going to be Guardians of the Galaxy. I think is going to have something. I'm thinking nothing more than though because they haven't even started filming. Maybe like a proof of concept visual effects thing of what Rocket Raccoon will be like.
James Gunn, the director, isn't here, right?
I believe most of them are in London. Some
But
of the
there
cast are
some
here.
cast members here, and I have this feeling, they'll have a presence during the Marvel panel. They'll bring out some of the people that are here.
Gotcha.
I think the fans really want to, and Joey, you can speak to this. They really want to know, like they want Rocket Raccoon is like the star of that show. Like they want to know, like what's he sound like? Who's going to voice him? Maybe that will be an announcement.
I mean, I think you had a theory about that, about who might voice him.
Actually, Roth Cornett has a theory because Vin Diesel. We kick it to Joey. Finally, get him a chance to talk, and then we cut him off.
I don't want to talk about Vin Diesel.
There's a whole bunch of different pins.
Roth Cornett, our movies and TV editor, has a theory because Vin Diesel met recently with Marvel, so everyone's like, well, maybe he's going to play Luke Cage or something. Vin ain't cheap, and Marvel likes to watch the bottom line. So maybe, as Roth suggests, maybe he is going to voice Rocket Raccoon because it's a voice role. He's got a very distinctive voice. We'll see. I mean, I think that's actually a pretty safe bet, maybe. Because again, they don't really scream.
Right.
We love them, but
start
Yes.
unpacking some of this. First off, let's start with The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
What do you think of Electro's look?
The look I like.
Thank
like,
you.
I'm not. I
need you guys up in the San Francisco office. Everybody's like,
Right?
this looks like trash.
I mean,
Yeah,
well, that's the
you
thing.
guys-
It's like
Here's the
I
thing.
like the look too. Yeah.
in general, I think superhero movies have tried so hard to be realistic.
Yeah.
That I think to some degree we've lost a lot of the fun in that. Like I think I like Man of Steel, but that was a huge problem with it. It's like it's a dude in tights. Like let's have a good time. You know, it doesn't have to be so super serious all the time. And Amazing Spider-Man, which I liked, I feel like a lot more than most people did. I thought it was the same way. Like it was just super, serious and somber. And while I would have loved to see the classic Electro costume,
Yeah.
I mean, come
That's
on,
not
that's
gonna
not going to
Really?
work. That's not going to work in a movie. But I don't know. I watched because you can see the Electro trailer downstairs from the Hard Rock here, and it's just
That's
playing.
what that is.
It's
Yeah.
playing in the
People
street.
keep
wondering
yelling
what
at me
that
every
is.
time I walk in front of them. I'm like, dude, it's nothing.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
just
know.
it plays that
Locking
plays that
Electro.
clip on a loop. I'm sure the security guards next to it are really sick of it by now.
Yeah,
But,
totally.
it looks cool. I mean, I know it's hard to judge from just like
Yeah.
lines of dialogue and where he also says, "I am Electro." It's like, come on, like yeah.
He also has that little thing on the side of his head that almost looks like a charger level thing that let you know how much battery life you have left. But it's not just Electro in this movie. We also have Paul Giamatti playing Rhino.
Yeah.
And maybe they'll reveal Rhino's final look. Right now, we've just seen him as his kind of Russian gangster kind of look.
Being a thug.
Yeah, and basically maybe we'll see that more animalistic kind of Ultimates look of Rhino. Although, like Joey with the Electro costume, I really do just want to see a fat guy in a
Right, like
Rhino
there's,
suit
there's
with a
some part
giant
of you that
horn.
just wants to see a direct interpretation, just because superheroes are ridiculous. They
Yeah.
wear tights and they fight stuff.
Well, Rhino's
Why
always
not
been such
embrace
a
that?
dumb villain. Every Spider-Man video game, he's like the one guy that they just put in
I don't
a
know if I
cutscene
can
to
agree with
jump
you there,
over.
Greg.
What are you talking about?
Sorry, man.
Yeah, when Scorpion is cooler than you. That's Although I'm still waiting for Shocker and his yellow quilt outfit.
Yeah. Oh,
And-
man, so many bad Spider-Man villains.
Oh, I love all of them.
Shocker has super vibrations. Come
Right.
on.
Yeah.
That's
He doesn't even shock people. That's the whole thing
I know,
about
he
it.
has vibration.
Dude, why they haven't decided to use Kraven the Hunter and all these animal villains together?
Yeah.
And then I believe it's Felicity Jones is also in the movie, and there's some speculation that maybe she's Black Cat, but I don't know if that's how accurate that is.
Bring people who are just tuning in up to speed on the whole Mary Jane stuff. for
All right, so
Spider-Man 2.
Shailene Woodley, who is here today, as I said, for Divergent, was cast as Mary Jane Watson. She even filmed a few days. But when they kind of, to us anyways, suddenly announced that now Spider-Man 3 and 4 are happening, and Mary Jane has been pushed from showing up in a small role in the second movie to being introduced in the third movie, with Divergent and everything else, Shailene Woodley is not going to be available to play Mary Jane. So they're going to have to recast that role. And so, yeah, that's what's going on with Mary Jane. We don't know who might replace her. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll move, heaven and hell to try and get Shailene to stay, but it doesn't appear that way. It just doesn't seem feasible.
Kirsten Dunst. That's who we need back.
I feel like people overreacted though because, like Jim said, I mean, she only shot for a few days. So when they're like, "Oh my God, they're completely changing the movie," I mean, I think the idea was let's introduce Mary Jane here in a couple of scenes so that it's not just here she is in
She could
part
have just
three.
been a girl in class or at a coffee
Right.
shop. We don't know how she was being
And
introduced.
so, yeah, when they cut her, I don't think it was like, oh my God, they're changing the movie while they're shooting it that dramatically. I mean, it's pretty typical for people in small roles to get cut. It's just it was a big actress, sort of an acclaimed actress right now that had to be cut for this one.
Like 60-year Spider-Man, spoiler alert. Do you think Gwen Stacy dies in this one?
Yeah, that's. I mean,
Yeah.
it seems like really the only way for them to go. You don't want it to. You don't want that Spider-Man 3 problem again of too many things
Yeah,
going on
yeah.
at once.
No, we do not
and
want
we,
Spider-Man 3.
another jazz club scene.
Yeah, yeah.
But Chris Cooper's in it playing Norman Osborn, but we just don't know, like, does he become the Goblin in this movie?
The rumor is that Dane DeHaan, who plays Harry Osborn, is going to be the only Goblin. Again, we don't know if that's true or not, but it would definitely kind of ease up on the, and now I'm in a costume, and you killed my father, now I'm in a costume. I just want that ancient butler who knows everything and doesn't say anything to come back.
That guy's
Why didn't you tell me that a movie ago?
2 movies.
I ruined my life.
You sat on that for 2 whole sequels.
Oh, man. That helped us out.
I'm excited for Amazing Spider-Man 2 because it got the origin thing out of the way
Yeah,
again,
right.
and now they can just tell me some Spider-Man stories.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
And plus, the second Spider-Man of the last trilogy was my favorite.
I want Uncle Junior from The Sopranos to play Vulture.
That's such a good.
That would be.
Just put him in the wingsuit.
Yeah.
How's he doing these days? It's been a while since Sopranos. And he was.
He's got a bit
was an
part
older
on
man.
on Boardwalk Empire. We can wheel him out for Vulture.
Empire. That's a good TV.
That comes back in September.
No Comic-Con presence, I'm afraid.
Lame.
I know.
No Comic Con
That's
presents
such a
for
good
Game of
opportunity
Thrones.
for
Game of Thrones is here.
Game of
Yeah,
Thrones is here.
Game of Thrones is here every year. The only problem Game of Thrones has typically is they come here right before they start shooting the next season, so they never have new footage to show. So it's more of a victory lap for them because everyone loves the show. In fact, this panel is interesting because I won't say who the people are just in case you aren't caught up on Game of Thrones, but some notable actors who have been killed off are on the panel. So I think
That'd be
again,
interesting, yeah.
because they don't have new footage, I think it's much more about let's talk about what happened last season.
Right.
And they'll tease stuff, they'll hint at stuff. Last year, what they did to give the fans something was they held all the casting announcements for season 3 and they announced them at Comic-Con with a video where they had all the cast members saying, I'm so-and-so and I'm playing this character. And it was a nice way to at least kind of give the fans of the book something to understand who those people were. But if you've read the books, there's not as many characters introduced next season because it's only the second half of book 3. So I don't know. I think they'll make something because at this point it's such a popular show here.
Sure.
They want to give the fans some sort of presentation, but they just want to have content. So I think it'll be about entertaining instead of showing you new footage.
We talk about Walking Dead being this huge movement. Game of Thrones seems to be not in the same space as far as infecting every form of
It's
media.
the next Star. We're watching a Star Trek.
See, I didn't-
unfold.
And you can only one and not the other.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. What's the ceiling on Game of Thrones? It seems like it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
It really, I feel that, I feel every year that, people just in your life, you feel like family members and friends are getting into it more and saying, oh yeah, I'm watching that. And my dad's like, oh, I might read the books because, I want to see what happens next. And when my dad is talking about reading some fantasy novels, I'm like, okay, this thing
Yeah, but
is-
I think people also know that the porn is better in the book than it is in the show.
Yes, and
Your
now you
imagination
can,
more
you can
graphic.
envision the beautiful actors and actresses from the show while you're reading the scenes. So
Took
that
a weird
helps.
turn real fast.
I'm just talking about other people's
why they
reading
bring me
habits,
here.
not mine. That's just studies I've done. But no, I think Game of Thrones is growing in popularity every year. And it will be interesting to see, I don't know, I feel like Walking Dead in some ways is a little more accessible. I think the fact that some of the things that people love about Game of Thrones, how even more ruthless than Walking Dead in some ways as far as killing
Oh, sure,
characters
yeah.
that you think are the hero's journey character. And some people do get turned off by that, and every time they do that, you'll see people in the comments say, I'm done with this show because they killed blank.
Right.
But other people they say that, and then they're just so excited to see if they would do that, what else would they dare to do? So I think it's going to grab people for that reason.
Okay.
Well, Jim, Eric, Joey, thank you for talking Day One Comic-Con with us. I know you guys are going to be coming on many more times before we're all
You'll
finished
be
with
sick of
this.
us.
Yeah.
Never.
Never ever.
Thanks.
Come defend Jamie Foxx in San Francisco with me.
We'll do it.
Get out there, go to some panels, and then report back to us. Tell us what you see.
Good.
We'll do it.
Thank
Thanks.
you,
Be the
guys.
gumshoe reporters with their hats and
Yeah.
their phone booths. Got a scoop for you, Daemon.
Cool. All right, Greg, we got lots of stuff coming up. Do you know what we're going to do next?
I probably do, but tell me about it again.
We're going to talk to Slash. Yes.
The Slash.
Yeah, the Slash, not like some other Slash.
Okay, I didn't want the other Slash. I want it's like Ghostbusters and real Ghostbusters. I want the real Ghostbusters.
This is the real Slash.
Okay.
we're
What's
gonna
he gonna come talk about?
He has a movie coming out.
Ooh,
Nothing Left to Fear. He's going to tell us a little bit about that.
I like that title.
So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be here with Slash. Stay tuned. Oh, we're not going to take a quick break yet.
All right, good. Let's
You
talk.
have to talk to me
Oh, okay.
a little bit longer.
All right, well,
we're
let's
going to bring
go
up the
over,
schedule
yeah,
up there.
let's
There's
go
more of
over
a
what's
schedule
going to
that we
be
can
on it.
do.
Oh my gosh, there he is. Slash, the Slash, as we've said.
That's going to come up next, and then you're going to talk to Aubrey Plaza and friends about the to-do
Yeah.
list.
Rachel from the OC.
Yeah?
Yeah. And then Maggie, who wrote and directed the to-do
Yes.
list, is going to come on and talk about it. To-do list, if you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, it's this sex romp, one of these teen sex comedies, but from the girl's perspective. I'm on board.
Flipping it on its head.
Exactly, that's what you want.
That's great.
And then we got some cosplay masterminds coming in here to talk about everything cosplay, Damon.
Yeah.
How they make the
They're
suits.
Friends of IGN.
Friends
and,
of
and-
IGN.
And
Friends of the
popular cosplayers.
Yeah, that Vampy Bitney character. You know her very, very well, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, get it together. Damon, I'm excited.
I'm really
Because
excited.
we're not even-
There's just like so much stuff coming up. There's video games here at the show too. Of
course.
And we're going to bring other IGN. The editor-in-chief of IGN, Steve Butts, is here.
The big story, we have a PlayStation 4 game coming on called Octodad. That's exciting. Well, Steve Butts. Come on, everybody knows Steve Butts.
I know. We are
Your
going
best
to
friend.
talk about some video games. We're going to talk about Ender's Game.
Okay.
New movie coming out.
I've heard of it. Harrison Ford.
Yeah, with Harrison
He's making
Ford.
his return to Comic-Con. Jim, give me the rundown.
We're going to be talking about Doctor Who. Robert Kirkman.
Yes,
We're going to be talking
the
with
Robert
with
Kirkman
Robert
getting
Kirkman, right?
interviewed here by
Yeah.
Roth.
There's so much stuff.
What are you excited about today? What out of everything we're talking about? What is the Damon
Also,
Hatfield?
I was trying to get Eric to talk to us about Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause I'm huge Breaking Bad fan.
Me too. Yeah.
It's coming back in less than a month.
Right.
And it's ending, you know.
Yeah,
so
yeah, that's the sca- that's,
I'm really
that's
excited
the
about.
sad, awesome part, right? Is that it's
Oh, yeah.
back, but it's going to be over.
Yeah.
Like I love
But,
Breaking Bad.
I know I do too. But I like it's better that it
Go out on top.
You know?
Do not limp around Simpson style and have a whole bunch of bad seasons and come back.
or anything. Like I've been rewatching all of Sopranos, and
Yeah.
like that show is amazing. Even when it's bad, it's still better than most TV.
Right. There's
but
some
it
misses
did.
in the middle.
You know, it is like the first 3 seasons are better than the last 3. You know?
Right.
So I feel like Breaking Bad is like a perfect arc. You know, there hasn't been a bad season. You know?
That's 100% true. It reminds me a lot of Seinfeld. Remember when Seinfeld was like, "We're gonna go out on top. Like we don't want to stick around so long people hate us."
Yeah.
And that was their big thing. So they left them when they're still number one, and you don't see things do that, right? You see shows like Smallville stay around a bit too long, have the witch season that nobody wanted in any way, shape, or form.
Viewers can be part of the show with us.
They
you want to be a
can?
part of the conversation. All you have to do is tweet us at IGN.
Of course.
Hashtag SECC. Whatever device you put your question into, it'll be sent to our device here, and we'll read it live
This
here on the show.
right here, Samsung Galaxy S4. We get the questions, we read them on the air. You get internet infamy and get to live with us. I tell you what, Damon, I'm excited. I get to host a panel tonight.
Now, this is the South Park.
Stick of Truth,
Panel.
Matt and Trey,
Yeah.
me, up on stage talking about video games. Their video game.
The game is finally, it was coming out. No, still doesn't have a release date.
Right. It's coming out when it's done. It's pretty much the E3 trailer was like, it's coming soon.
But it's supposed to be on the sooner side
right.
of things now, yeah?
Yeah, I believe holiday is what they've been hinting at, and that's what they've been driving at. We'll see if they can make it. That's the big part, right? You know, it's gone through a little bit of turmoil, right? It was a THQ game. THQ faded away, disappeared like the kids in Back to the Future.
Gone but not forgotten.
Not forgotten.
All right.
Stuff.
Quick break. When we come back, we'll be with Slash. Stay tuned.